scene. I did not enjoy this scene, and I'll tell you why. And we will book it together to improve it somewhat. So, what we have, and I'm going to kind of bluster through this. There is some kind of interesting stuff here. This is the so the power goes off. Interesting, or they come to a stop anyway, and then cut the engines. We see some pirates on the ship. They are after what appear to be medical supplies, but they could just be after anything. A lovely intro shot of Seven, I'll give you that. And Seven looks absolutely wonderful in this intro scene. It's well framed, it's well staged. It has a little bit of that kind of frantic action editing style, which can't avoid it at this point. The costume design here is very interesting. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they're trying to be, and that's kind of a gripe of the show. We see here one of Rios's holograms, and it is revealed that Seven has combined all of Rios's various hollow selves into just one, and thankfully, it's my favorite. It's Spanish language Rios, the pilot Rios. I don't know what's the best to call him. Just pilot Rios. And speaking in Spanish and nothing but. Seven obviously knows Spanish. That's great. And he's drawing her attention to the fact that there's something going on outside. There is a lot going on outside, unfortunately. Seven only has a wrench, but she is able to sort the situation out with just that. She dismisses pilot Rios. And he's just, yeah, I'm just telling you, I'm doing my job. She's able to do this shot is, you can't see it because it's not in motion, but Seven does this wonderful eye roll here because this guy's like, you Borgo freak, I'm gonna kill you, and she's like, bitch, please. She sorts him out pretty quick. She sorts out partners in crime and all that kind of stuff, and they're subdued pretty quickly. This person starts firing through a hologram, and kind of dumb because he's clearly a hologram. She continues to shoot. It's a bit dumb. Seven turns off the safety protocol because he's being fired at. I mean, it's obviously not hurting him. I don't know why she continues to shoot. He appeals to Seven. Seven turns off the safety protocols, and he is obviously able to assist. Seven takes out this person. Rios gets involved, and Seven does this really cool tackle through this barricade. Not the most safe thing. Captain Pikachu would have an absolute field day with the lack of safety protocols going on this ship. But luckily, they're starting to block the landing. It's a very reckless move, but we've kind of come to expect that from Seven as a member of the Fenris Rangers. I'm beginning to think that the Fenris Rangers is just Seven at this point. But anyway, I don't know where the barricade went. Barricade, maybe it dropped off somewhere down there, but she smashes through this barricade. The barricade is nowhere to be seen. I don't know, not the greatest editing, and there's a crash map down there for them. Well done. Anyway, this person's subdued, and now that's been sorted. Pilot Rios is like, yes, excelente, we can now go and see what's outside. I don't know what that was. We can now go and see what's outside, and Seven's like, okay, well, in a second, thanks for your help and all that kind of stuff. We should probably fix this. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Now, my issue with the scene is the first shot is we kind of go from Picard, this very pleasant conversation, this speech about time, but also the excitement of the adventure in space. You're joining a family. We are explorers. We explore the unknown. To paraphrase that wonderful Ben Sisko speech in Emissary, we explore our lives, and the raising of the arms is almost kind of he's moving us into space, and we go to space and we find out that it's dangerous and there are pirates out there and all this kind of stuff. So, you just see the La Serena. We don't see a pirate ship. We don't see the ship under fire. I think if I would have booked this, if I would have written this, I would have had Picard is like, go, let's see what's out there. Lifting his arms up, and we move into the next scene, and what we're seeing, danger, crisis, death, darkness, space stuff. And what I would have liked to have seen is this pirate ship, perhaps in this instance, fly over and is hitting the La Serenia. That would obviously justify Rios's later complaints about the damage on the ship. But there's none of that. These peeps, these pirates, just kind of come out of nowhere. Now, obviously, the counter argument there is that we're obviously in the middle of a situation, but as viewers, we want to be shown some things. So I would have started this off with potentially a pirate ship taking out the engines, and that would make it more. That would give us more kind of reason to kind of go, okay, that's why they're on board, because they've crippled the ship, they've taken out the engines, they've taken out the shields, and they're on board. And pirates are dangerous, but they're fucking with the wrong lady. Seven's on board, and she's going to take them out of a wrench. So that's how I would have booked it. And these guys, they're just fodder, just designed to kind of just be set up. I mean, as you can see, they're dumb. They're firing at holograms. They were never going to win. They were taken out by Seven. They picked on the wrong girl, and good on them. Well, bad on them. They messed up. But then in the next scene, we kind of see the next segment is we see these poor pirates, these idiot pirates, just kind of being beamed off the ship. I'm assuming that they're being beamed back aboard their ship, and again, I think it's kind of the subtlety of what we're seeing on screen here, an improvement from what we've seen previously. And Seven at the end of season 1, as much as I try to not remember season 1 that much, she says, never again am I just going to kill people because that's what they deserve. So she's being lenient. I'm assuming, anyway, that they're being beamed aboard their ship, and she's not just beaming them into space. Who knows? It's Picard. But anyway, so Rios then talks about, gets a little bit psychoanalytical with Seven. It's a nice scene. We're kind of reintroduced to the fact that Seven is, still struggling to adapt to life amongst humans, even after all these years. And I kind of bought that. It was very depressing that that's the direction they went with in season 1. What we saw in Voyager was a very optimistic Seven / Annika, excited eventually about reintegration, but life, as we know, just doesn't really go like that, does it? It's very realistic. It's very depressing. But anyway, Rios, Seven goes, shut up, stop psychoanalyzing me. And he's like, okay, you're the boss. You won't hear it from me. But anyway, they get back to business, and that business is Pilot Rios saw something outside. Something is going on. They're talking, of course, about subspace distortion and tachyon fluctuations and a massive spike in Hawking radiation. Now, Hawking obviously is a reference to Stephen Hawking, the very famous professor, but tachyon fluctuations, and again, look, I'm no scientist, but whenever I hear tachyon, for some reason, that reminds me of two things. That reminds me of cloaking, and it reminds me of time. For some reason, I'm not sure why it's. I thought tachyons was something that would be picked up on a cloaked ship, but tachyon maybe meaning time. I don't know. Again, if you know better than I do, let me know in the chat. But anyway, they bring it up on screen, and you get this very ominous color fill the room, and Seven is like, "Well, I'm getting some bad vibes. I'm getting some bad vibes from this." And there we see the tear in space, which is presumably getting larger, and the Avalon is now out of there. Anyway, Seven is like, well, we're going to have to fix this.